Beautiful eyes, you lock me in your gaze, and try though I might, I cannot look away. You're not what I expected to find, and now I'm forgetting why I should run from your side. Yeah. One gentle kiss, the pain alleviates. Poisonous lips annihilate me, and every dream that I trade for this bliss. But who can resist? I'm starving alone in the wilderness. Beautiful distraction, keep me hypnotized, and I fall for the enemy. Powerless reaction, I am paralyzed, and now you get the best of me. Is there no one safe from your deceit and lies? I know I've been told this road isn't paved with gold, but I see it glitter now. I'm sold for the enemy. My hands are tied. You've captured your next slave, but it feels justified. I don't even try to break free, and now I'm blind to the truth at my side. That we win before we begin if we stand and fight this. Beautiful distraction, keep me hypnotized, and I fall for the enemy. Powerless reaction, I am paralyzed, and now you get the best of me. Is there no one safe from your deceit and lies? I know I've been told this road isn't paved with gold, but I see it glitter now. I'm sold for this. We're going down. We're going down. Yeah, we're going down. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. Na 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 na. We're going down. We're going down. Beautiful distraction, keep me hypnotized, and I fall for the enemy. Powerless reaction, I am paralyzed, and now you get the best of me. Is there no one safe from your deceit and lies? I know I'm told this road isn't paved with gold, but I see it glitter now. I'm sold for this love.
All right, all right, all right. Time to get this show on the road. Good evening, everyone. I am your friendly neighborhood Phantom NJ, host of this TTRPG theater. Oh, hi, Asher the Bear. How you doing, sir? Oh, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. We are just getting started. We do have a giveaway going on. $10 digital product coupon towards. Yeah, dude. I am so sorry about that. That sucks. Lord Gazumba, good to see you, Jay. I know you've got a game tonight with some special guests, I believe, or well, some extra players beyond your standard motley crew down there. Yeah, so we will be raiding into Lord Gazumba after the stream. And it's been a week. Yeah, it's been the weekend itself. My goodness, it's kind of a yeah, burns when you're fun guy. I love it. Thanks, Witch Starfell. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you here. Welcome. So yeah, this was the week has gone surprisingly fast, honestly. Especially considering the weekend. Actually, yes, I just got it today. I have not opened it. It is in a box. I need to actually clear space. I was going to do an unboxing, and I realized that I don't want to unbox it until I have someplace to actually put it safely. Because right now, I just put together like a new table to. Yeah, it is. It is pretty big. The box itself is, the box itself was rather large. Yeah, I've got a shelf so I can, put together, or a table that I put together so I can start rearranging things and getting a little bit more organized. Oof. I'm looking forward to going through it. Actually, I'm not sure if that's the first DCC products I'll have actually owned. Um, I know I have some Goodman Games stuff, but I don't know that I have any of their DCC stuff. So, there might be an adventure somewhere during one of the giveaways somewhere that I've gotten, but I don't know. There's just so much random stuff that I need to like sort through. I need to figure out what Necromancer game stuff that I have so I can figure out what I want to get, because Necromancer being part of Frog God, and Frog God doing a lot of CNC stuff, would like to support them a bit more as well. Yeah, so let's talk. Let's talk about the weekend. You played a bunch of D20 3.5 ones. All right. Nice. It's kind of funny. Well, I mean, I missed the entire the 3.x era, D20 era. I still had all my AD&D 2E stuff, and my one group that I was playing with at all was my college buddies, and we were barely getting together. Like, we were all in that stage of life where, getting together for gaming was tough, and we do it every so often. But if we did, we were playing 2E, because none of us were playing enough or making the kind of money at the time to justify dumping that for 3E. And yeah, so, and in the 1E 2E era, I will admit I was pretty much, if it wasn't TSR, I probably wasn't buying it. I mean, for better or for worse, it was, I knew what TSR was. I'd seen the occasional advertisements for stuff in the Dragon magazines, but I didn't know, I didn't have anybody else who was using their stuff, so I didn't know what was good, what was bad. The internet not being a thing in those days, and really, honestly, until the 2E era, dial-up systems really weren't commonplace either. So it wasn't like there was even like AOL to go talk to people on. So I stuck to the brand that I knew, for better or worse. The only other thing that I'd gotten into besides AD&D at the time was when I hit high school. I had a couple friends who introduced me to the Palladium Robotech game, and we played a lot of that, played the hell out of that. But for AD&D, I was purely on board with whatever TSR was putting out. I know I missed stuff. I know there was stuff that I probably would have really enjoyed, but what the heck, when you have only a certain amount of money and you don't know any better, you make do with, you go with the devil you know. Keith, good to see you, sir. So yeah, so did anybody hear about this fundraiser we did last weekend? I mean, there's oh my goodness, it was amazing. It was fantastic. Needless to say, we just went right through any expectations that we had. Hey, Flan Blackmore, it is really good to see you, sir. Oh, it was a fantastic weekend. Doing the games, doing the 3 games that I did, you want to get off to a good start, and it's not easy. It's running the first game of the day, especially when you're one of the smaller streamers. You are really at the mercy of the greater community to come out and support. I mean, I've done some of them in the past with, where I was doing the early game on another stream, and uh, if it wasn't anybody on from that particular streaming group, it was kind of quiet. And I got to say, Friday morning, when we did the 9 o'clock, the 9 o'clock Friday morning game, the support was tremendous. Right off the bat, we had really early on, we hit 20, 30 people early. We had close to 40 people on average. I think I said my average was like 35 or 38 for Friday morning, which was absolutely fantastic. We were in the high 40s, mid to high 40s for as far as like peak viewers, which really, considering you're doing that, and I don't even know that there was. I don't know if we got any raids on Friday morning. I don't know if there was anybody else on to actually even raid into us at any given point, because the whole thing was so early. It was a new group. We had it's new group, not necessarily new players, but it was a new group, which it might have gotten off to a little slow start in terms of the dynamic. I think everybody was kind of like feeling everybody else's character out. But the adventure went really well. We had two firsts. This campaign that I'm running has been going. Embers of Empire has been going since Virtual Greyhawk Con. The first adventure was on Virtual Greyhawk Con of Virtual Greyhawk Con of 2023. Prince, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Touch of Evil, good to see you. Good to see you. So it's been going. It's going for a year. Was it? It's going for a year and a half now. I mean, we are at, really, honestly, we are maybe just shy of the year and a half mark. Close. We're getting there. We're getting there. I guess it'll be like in another month or so. No, maybe 2 months or so. We're close to the year and a half. We're closing in on the year and a half mark. And there's been a whole lot of games. There's been a bunch of groups. I've had three named teams going, and then a few more that have been gone together at least for one shots. But the one thing that I hadn't had, well, there's two things that I didn't have that happened in that first game. The first one was we had a player character die in rather epic fashion, if you ask me. No, maybe not the most epic death, but just the sequence of events that went up to it. Chris Brungal, otherwise known as Chris, his dwarven cleric died. He had gotten knocked down to negative hit points. He had gotten brought back with a heal to just above, like I think he had maybe a 1 hit point. And instead of healing himself, he decided to, we were doing undead, and he decided to do a turn undead, and nat 20, and where because of the fact that they were close in level, it should have just been scared them off. I rewarded the nat 20 with the turning of the shadows, causing the shadows to dissipate. You got to have a little fun with that. Of course, then he was next to, I think it was either skeleton or zombie. It was a 1-hit die creature. And I rolled a nat 20 and sent him directly to negative 14, which went right through his hit points as well as his constitution bonus, and he was dead. So it was the character decided made the choice to not heal himself and do the turn instead, which heroic as hell, because they kind of needed it. They're in a bit of trouble, partially because somebody decided to play a bit of the heal. Trollord's game's own Chuck Cumbo, playing a wizard, was not all that enthused about their chances, and decided to cast invisibility on himself and left the party to die. Yeah, we have our first our first player character turned party nemesis for those who are left. Well, yeah, the problem was he wasn't high enough level to cast Fireball. Oh man, they were just below that. So I do believe that Brungal is making a character. It's going to be the dwarf's brother. He hasn't decided whether the brother is going to be a cleric or a paladin. It's going to be one of the two. But the Bollock's break anvil will be avenged one way or another. I love it. So yeah, we have our first entry into the the Embers of Empire Hall of Remembrance. And it's pretty cool. I spoke to him afterwards. Yeah, he's like, yeah, that was great. He's like, I love it. It's like, all right, excellent. That's what I like to hear. And then I got to play in the Trollard Games thing run by Stephen Chenault. This time alongside Chuck, and we had a little bit of misdirection. If for those of you who don't, or you probably are aware, but Stephen has a reputation of water of any type being very, very dangerous. You never want your characters to have to go through water. I don't care if it's a damn puddle. Something's going to happen, and there was a point where we had to cross over a bridge to get to a I don't remember if it was at that point it was just to get to safety or just to get to the person that we needed or where we needed to be, and we were really concerned that he was going to have the bridge crumble from under us because the fact that he gave us a bridge, and apparently the only reason he didn't have the bridge destroyed and force us to go through the river was because of the fact that he was under the impression that they had a 4-hour game and it turned out to be a 3-hour game. So the bridge actually held. We sent people across one by one, and the bridge held firm, and we got to the other side. So that was it was a rather funny moment because we were like, yeah, no, we have absolutely no faith in that bridge whatsoever. Oh man, it was a good time. We had a good time with the adventure. And then that night was another new group that and Asher got to play a new character in the campaign in that one, as well as our other friend Chris, GD TRFB 1995, pulled out a Paladin of Tritherion, which is one of the things that maybe in a little bit we will discuss because talking to him beforehand, unfortunately there was just not enough time to do what we were he would have liked to have done, but we'll get to that in a bit. Coco Bunny played with us again. She had a second new character, so she now has 3 characters in the campaign, and 2 of them are more apt to be able to go with others. DM Chris, good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening. And who else was in that? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's right. I had Korg the Mighty playing a Grugak fighter, and playing a wild elf the way a wild elf probably is. His understanding of civilization kind of lacking civilized norms. And then I had Terry and Evelyn from Roll for Perception, where you can find me pretty much every other Monday night playing some Pathfinder 2E. Terry, runs Pathfinder 2E mostly. We have tried other systems as well, but we're currently in the middle of a Pathfinder 2E thing where I am playing a Kitsune. Think a humanoid fox, a bard who is very, very, very extra. You want a group that is kind of over the top, and I'm leading that parade. That you want to tune into that game because there's so much going on. But yeah, I had Evelyn was playing otherwise known as Theater Evie, was playing a dwarven cleric. Demonic Tragedies. I love that name. Thank you for the follow. And we have met the follower goal of 390. Excellent. Awesome. That is so very, very cool. Welcome in. And Terry, I had him playing a gnome illusionist because I know Terry and I knew he could pull it off. And that campaign, that adventure went, that adventure was every bit as off the rails as I thought it was going to be. It was supposed to be a 4-hour adventure. I think it went a full 5. We spent the first 2 hours in the tavern, and I didn't want them to leave because they kept. It was an adventure that I had kind of thrown together anyway, because it was, I had basically we were looking to fill a spot, and I volunteered to fill the Friday night spot, and improving an adventure comes pretty easy to me. And I knew this particular group was just going to give me all kinds of stuff to work with. And they did. I estimate a good 70% of the adventure that occurred was just me reacting to the things that they did. I knew where the final encounter was supposed to be. I had other potential encounters that I just kept throwing out because the longer we stayed in the tavern and the more stuff that happened right there and the more ideas, like they were never supposed to met the final boss at the tavern, much less investigate him and that. And there is an entire building that just was there because they were looking for something and they decided to go investigate. It's like, all right, well, here we go. So it was so much fun. They just gave me so much to work with, and whatever I threw at them, they just ran with it. By the end of the night, we were at like the, personally speaking, we were like the $1,500 or $1,600 mark. I think it was $1,600 because I want to say somebody did a 100 right at the end, which was very cool. I put a mark for 6,000 personally. Our goal was 26.2 overall, and we were well on our way. I think we were like a third of the way there, maybe a little more than a third of the way there by the time Friday night ended. So Saturday I was just able to relax, enjoy that's all right. I need to tease Doc. Doc donated $500 to Jay's on Jay's stream. I'll tease him a bit too. Very, very lightly. It's one of those things. All I cared about really was the final goal being hit. Yes. That's the actually, and that it makes it a little more fun to tease because of the fact that we did hit it thanks to. Some people made matching donations or added something to mine who probably would normally have gone. Yeah, and the $2,500 was the $25. That got us over. That got us over the edge, which was absolutely huge. So in the middle of Sunday, we actually it was pretty much in the middle of Sunday. We had the anonymous donor, who was a number one contributor, tremendous amount contributed to the thing. Did one of the donations during my game. It was the $2,500, which moved me to in over the 4,000 that I the 4,000 that I was going to match. And once I matched it, then I was over mine by my total by over 2,000. I was looking to raise 6,000. I mean, it would have been great to have raised 6,000, just in donations and donate another 4. But still, $8,325. I think my final total was. That was fantastic. Because last year, even with the donation that I did, we did not hit the the amount that I was looking to raise. So I was so pumped, and then we get to the final session in the evening, the wrap up session, and the donations came in, and then the anonymous donor again, and suddenly we were worried that we were going to hit 26 too. Now our big worry is how the hell are we going to do 30? How the hell are we going to beat the $32,000 or $33,000 that we raised this year next year? Oh man, that's yeah, 32,061. Wow, that's amazing. Um, but yeah, and we had, and this was, we didn't have quite as many streamers going as we've had in years past, but everybody brought in nice amounts, and everybody had lots of 8325. Wow. And there was a lot of good games running. A lot of different types of games, but it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed being able to just relax on Saturday, just being able to sit and take in the games that were going on, and then just do my prep for Sunday. But it was a fantastic weekend. You can't. This is, to me, it's one of the best weekends of the year. It's the community at its absolute best. Rascal, sir, you were freaking amazing yourself. Got Twitch overload. It's the best kind of for D&D weekend, Greyhawk weekend. That's a hell of an overload. My favorite type. Oh, nice. Okay. Sweet. But yeah, no, everybody came out, and the donations were huge. When the top 10, number 10 is still $500, that's awesome. And again, for those of you who donate, I don't care if you donated $5, $10, good on you. You're a fantastic human being. And thank you. If all you were able to do is sit there and watch, or even just lurk and add to the numbers, so to show support for the streams, thank you. Every little bit was huge. Just being able to prop up the numbers to get more eyes on the games, to get more awareness for what was going on, and get more people in to see, and hopefully if they were in a position to donate, awesome. And hopefully they'll see how much fun we're having and join us again next year, because we've been doing this year after year. This is the 7th one now. I think this is the 5th one that I was able to participate in, because I think I joined the community shortly after the 2nd one. So yeah, this is the 5th one, and this is only like the 3rd or 4th where I was 3rd or 4th where I did on my own stream. I'd been doing it on other streamers. We won't talk about that, but it's all in the past, and yeah, so fantastic, everybody. It's amazing. So with that in mind, there is the question of what's next. Well, let's see. First of all, things that are going on here. I am slowly switching out equipment. I don't know if anyone can tell, but I've got a new camera. I've got one of the Instalink 360s, Jay, that is now pointed at my face, with the tracking software. So, I'm enjoying that. I also have a second one that's currently hooked up to my laptop, that I want to use to do some painting stuff. I really need to get painting because I want to get ready for GaryCon, and I want to make sure that I'm only bringing with me stuff that I need. Last year, because of all this extra spare time, I had brought stuff with me to like paint and stuff. It's like, I don't want to bring any of that stuff with me. I just want to bring exactly what I need. If I have to bring unpainted stuff, I'll bring unpainted stuff. It's fine. But yeah, I'd at least like try to get the PCs paint. I've got enough painted, mob miniatures, some of the stuff from the various packs, the pre-painted packs, that I can take with me to GaryCon. But I've got to figure out what terrain I'm bringing with me. I've been looking into some of the vinyl, the neoprene mats, game mats. I'd like to pick up one or two, at least like maybe one of the ones where it's like the grasslands. Yeah, I know they're heavy. That's also a concern. Only because I might end up just bringing the straight up, the straight up Chessex tan map with the things and just put some terrain on it and call it a day, and use your imagination. make my life a little easier. I need to figure out what I'm bringing with me. I've got stuff that I bought from Retro Gamer Meth while we were at Page. I have some stuff that I owned already, and the good news is I'm bringing multiple suitcases because it's a joy being so close to Chicago from a flight perspective. Current 3, good to see you. Welcome in. Because that means I can basically pack a suitcase full of stuff. Because it's only a 5-day weekend, so I can have like a suitcase full of clothes, a suitcase full of, terrain and pieces and stuff, or maybe mix and match to help with the padding. Because I decided to treat myself. Normally this flight I treat myself because the upgrade to first class for this from economy is like $250, and considering that I'd have to check 2 bags, it ends up paying for itself. It's like, all right, well, awesome. I get a much more comfortable seat, and I get 2 checked bags. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't I do this? Nice. That's awesome. I just want, for me, it's also a matter of the comfort level with the seats. So, I was happy. I was happy to take the wider, bigger seat. It's also what I'm going to be there. It's funny. I Savage Splendor had asked me when I was getting there, and I told them my flight was at 9 a.m. And that's a lie. My flight is at 7 a.m. I'm going to be in Chicago at 9 a.m. Yeah, that's me and my hips. If they don't, it is painful between my hips and the fact that my knees, I can't sit in a standard economy seat. I could probably, if I don't have anybody in the middle seat, I can sit in the seat because I'll just have the hand thing up. If I wanted a chance that, my knees will be broken by the time we get there. It'll be a bad scene, even with just a 2.5 hour flight. Justinius, good to see you. But yeah, so I've already requested a wheelchair because of the fact that I've got the boot on, and the boot will be on my foot the entire time I'm at GaryCon. So I'm getting the wheelchair service from the gate to baggage claim, and then I'm going to see if I can get it, if they have a service from baggage claim to where the car rental area is, because that's the bigger pain in, the going to the baggage claim is enough of a pain in the ass in Chicago. Going from baggage claim to where the car rental is annoying as hell. That is not a fun walk. So I've got to do that. And then of course I realized I'm going to need to worry about that on the way back. Oh, okay. Excellent. So that would, I was able to get it's funny. I was able to get from the air, through the airline, the wheelchair service to baggage claim. I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem. It's a train ride. Yeah, and not only that, it's not bad enough that it's a train ride, going from baggage claim to the car rental, but you have to go keep changing what level you're on. You have to go the elevator down, elevator up, walking over a ramp. It's just, oh my goodness, and then finally an elevator down again, to get where I need to be. Um, it's exhausting. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I've got enough time. I can relax. I don't need to be in a rush. But at the same time, I know I'm going to want to get the hell out of the airport. I don't want to. Dimension door. Yeah, I like that idea. There we go. And then it's going to take me an hour and, well, it's kind of funny. I'm going to get out of the airport right around rush hour, so I'm not entirely. I mean, granted, the airport is north of the city, which is good, and I'll be heading away from Chicago, which is good. So theoretically, I'll be going in the opposite way of rush hour traffic. But I'm going to be getting out. Leaving the city or leaving the airport. Probably sometime around 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock by the time all that happens. Depending on how this works. Takes what, an hour and 15 minutes at this point to get from Chicago to Lake Geneva. I need to figure out what I'm going to do, because I know that I won't be able to check in at that point. Yeah. Well, it took me longer the first time, but yeah, something, it probably is an hour now because I'm so used to it. I'm familiar with the roads, and really, honestly, from Chicago to thing, it really is only like 2 or 3 roads. I mean, there's a couple of highway merges. No, I don't fly into Milwaukee because Milwaukee does not have a direct flight for any of the airlines that I'm willing to use. You will never catch me on a United flight. And I think United is the only one that I'd be able to take directly into Milwaukee. American Airlines, I can fly into Chicago, and I can fly out of Newark. So it's, even though I'm getting a car service to the airport. So it's, oh God, it's weird all the way. So it's take to make American, straight to Chicago. It's American, and it's so easy. American, they let me off, and the check-in is like right as soon as I walk into the terminal. Makes my life really easy. So I'll have the 2 check bags for about 5 minutes, if that. And at that point they'll be they'll be on their way. So it's like I've thought about driving up to Madison and going to the Noble Dwarf store. Thought about finding, maybe it'll be just a matter of finding some place to lunch, for lunch. I don't know what time they'll actually let me check in, because I am at the Holiday Inn Vacation Club, at the resort. I'm not staying in the Grand, and it was funny. Somebody had a thing in where they had to cancel, and they were looking. I'm coming in on Wednesday. So I'll be, if I drove straight there, it's possible that I might be in Lake Geneva by 11 a.m. The main thing is I want to get rid of my, I want to get my 2 large suitcases out of the equation as soon as possible. So it may just be going and finding food somewhere. I don't know. And then eventually going over to the, finding lunch, going over to the hotel and seeing what time I can check in, and just hanging out until then. The good news is I will be, once I'm done at the hotel, once I'm checked in and I've got I'll get myself sorted. I'll just be heading over to the Grand and, finding people to hang out with and, having some drinks, some laughs, and whatever. All right. Well, we'll see you in a little bit. But yeah, that's it's coming up. I mean, on Wednesday it was 3 weeks from yesterday. 3 weeks from yesterday is the day that I'll be heading over there. So it just boggles the mind. It's coming up really, really fast, and I've got work to do on that front. So as far as what else is going on, I talked about the fact that I am bringing back Friday Night Crusades. It was supposed to be relatively soon, and then I hurt my foot, and that kind of threw things in a big mess because I've been trying to figure out, things about like, what I'm doing with my dog. And right now he's been in boarding since basically the weekend of President's Day. I forgot why I put him in boarding for that weekend anyway, but it's I'm sitting here in a boot, and I think I'm finally feeling comfortable with the idea of bringing him home, that I will be able to take care of him. Thankfully, he's a very, very patient pup in the morning. So, he'll let me get up and, get the boot on and do what I need to do in order to properly take care of him. We're going to see how that goes. Been looking for somebody to watch him in the short term, but that hasn't panned out. And, we'll see how it goes this weekend, and hopefully everything goes well. The good news is the ice here has mostly melted. So, the one of the concerns I had was taking him out and, being able to control him without killing myself on slipping on ice and whatever. I don't have that concern right now anymore. What's that about? Oh man. Yeah, so I'm hoping to bringing him home tomorrow night. I want to get some more stuff done. Like I mentioned, I got the new camera. I am going back to my old audio setup. I'm not happy with this audio mixer. I'm tired of constantly being, trying to figure out whether I'm too loud or really honestly not loud enough. And I had tried a different thing. I was researching some things for my old audio mixer, which was probably a lot more than I needed. But it was also a matter of trying to figure out how best to set it up. I think I know what I need to do with it now. So we're going to do, that'll be the next step. What else? What else do I have going on? Then it's a matter for Friday Night Crusades. I need to plan out which specialty classes I want to make available first for CNC. I know that, I know that Chris, GDTRFB in 1995, he was interested in playing like an alternate version of a paladin for Tritherion, because Tritherion really doesn't fit the paladin. Tritherian's followers don't really fit the paladin ethos, or at least not the standard one. So I like the idea of there being a divine warrior for Tritherion. I want to figure out what kind of abilities that character should have. And I think what I'm going to do is, like, for variants, I'm just going to basically switch out the ability that they get at certain levels. I know Lord Gazumba's got the Inquisitor coming at some point for with the Altamira. However, I think I might make my own version. Greyhawk Inquisitor, my own Greyhawk Inquisitor. I like the idea of them having an ability called the Question, because, they are Inquisitors, and that's what they do. Um, and then there's like the specialty priests. I like the idea of the specialty priests having certain spells that they get basically a bonus spell at certain levels, and not many of them. They might start off with an extra one, and that doesn't count towards their standard that they can do once a day. And then have certain spells that they get going on, like Palor, stuff revolving around the sun with light and whatever. All right. I might need to look in from Swords of Cthulhu. I might need to look. Is that one of his Adventures Dark and Deep supplements, or is that something else? I might need to look into that supplement because right now for Cultists I've been using GM Samuel's Cultist Guide for CNC, but and it's got a whole bunch of different options in there. But I listen. More is better. There's never too much. But yeah, I want to be able to like differentiate between priests and paladins of like say Hieronius, Foltis, and Foltis and Palor. And do specialty priests. Do some specialty priests as well. Figure out an elemental mage. I have the net book, the net spell book, so I've got more access to more elemental spells. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right. Nice. I'll have to take a look at that. And the thing is, I've got a bunch of stuff to like pull from. It's just I don't necessarily agree with some of the decisions. Like I was looking at the specialty priests or whatever for Palor from the Ashes, and I don't like that Palor specialty priest at all. They're very the Fulton specialty priest felt more like Palor's specialty priest than the Palor ones did for my taste. But so we'll see where we go. I'm not necessarily going to hold what's gone before. See what feels right. But yeah, no, those are coming. Those are definitely coming. And then there's also the non-casters. By the way, Asher, I have decided that Paladins, Rangers can definitely choose the spellcasting route at level 9 for the campaign. As far as the bard, I like the idea of the spellcasting bard. And I think I might go with that as, basically that's an option because I'm not crazy about the standard CNC bard. The whole what is it? Fascination mechanic it's well, yeah, but you're also not a fan. You're also not a fan of the whole illusion thing. I know that much. Um, because you have players who are going to try to pull every little thing they can, suck every little thing they can out of it. So, yeah, I know. Let's put it like I understand why you don't like it, but I don't have that particular issue because I'm not going to put up with it, and it's like, yeah, and it's easier because of the fact that it's not like someone I know and don't have to worry about wrecking a group. Yeah, no, that what your player is trying to do to you is just not going to happen. I will put my foot down on that really, really, really fast. Bards of Legendarium. What are the Bards of Legendarium from? I'm sensing more books that I need to buy. That's bad. It's so bad. My PDF collection is ridiculous, and my physical collection is ridiculous. Now one thing I will not be doing is I will the. Is that the one that's from the? Yeah, if that's the one from the Adventures backpack. Fringes, I'm going to you and I are not of the same mind with that one. If it's the one that Flair's Archive that originally is from the Adventurer's Backpack, um, I I don't like I don't like that class at all. Um, that's a class that I would let somebody play if we were doing a one-on-one campaign. If it's if it was like just me back in the day when it was like me and my brother playing very early on, that would be a class that'd be fine because you have a class where the whole adventure is it's about that person. The idea of a character class where you're basically the avatar of a god. Suddenly it's you and everybody. Basically that's a character that screams main character syndrome. Just I don't I'm not a fan. It's also way too overpowered for the rest of the thing. I'm not a fan of the Ethereal Knight either, because that one is just open to abuse. It's a different power level. Again, it doesn't fit into the to the whole thing of characters of the same level, and you can't do that. I mean, the classes, if you have a character class, it's going to so unbalance everything. It's what really makes it problematic. I mean, it's why when Rob Salvatore introduced Drizzt Do'Urden, everybody suddenly wanted to play a Drow because hey, being a dual wielding Drow Ranger, yeah, sure, what the hell? Chop things up in small bits and have a little bit of spell casting to go along with it. Who wouldn't want to be that? I mean, no. It's not the CNC for me is not that kind of game. For there, and here's the thing, there are other classes in the Adventurer's Backpack and thus in the Player's Archive where the class itself is fine, but it requires a very specific type of campaign for it. Even actually Stephen Chenalton said the Arcane Thief is problematic because of the fact that if there's not enough magic being cast at it, the class becomes so he's looking to rewrite that, I think. He actually put an article in the latest Crusader Journal about the problems with the Arcane Thief. There's one as a pacer where it's great in a high politics game where there's lots of behind the scenes stuff going on. It's a pretty cool class. I like the class. If I was doing a city-based adventure where there was a lot of political shenanigans going along, I would highly recommend somebody play that class because we'll have a hell of a lot of fun. But if you're playing a class where you're doing basically dungeon crawling, the pacer is I think it's the pacer. It's one I keep getting them mixed up. One of the classes they're more about intrigue and stuff. Almost like a spy type thing. If you find yourself in the middle of a dungeon crawl or even an overland adventure, you're not going to have as much fun, and it kind of sucks. Oh, I will leave my further thoughts on Rob Salvatore alone. Oh, the man knew how to knows how to sell books. That's for sure. I just stopped reading them after a while. I think I got through the first 8 and I was done. I was like, all right, I had enough. Well, yes, Herschel, I had to deal with you. Yeah, he does. They're. The funny thing is, of all the characters that he wrote, Drizzt is probably one of my least favorites. I would have loved more. I would have loved more stuff. Straight up dealing with Bruenor or Wolfgar and Canterbury and the rest of them. Even Regis. Regis sometimes feels like a throw-in character, but Drizzt just Drizzt to me is like a wish fulfillment character, you know. It's just I just don't find him interesting, and the whole Artemis and Trary thing got old after like the the third or fourth encounter. It's like, all right, come on. It's like, what are we doing here? All right, well, that was a very very quick hour. Let's see what we have. We have. All right, we have. How many people do we have for the giveaway? Oh, we got 5 people signed up for the giveaway. Again, exclamation point ticket to enter for $10 digital product coupon towards any digital product from the Droid Games websites, which, of course, if I had looked down, it would have seen that the bot had just posted the message. So yeah, I will be here. Let's see, next week. Yeah, I should be here next week. Maybe next week we'll try to do some work. Prune you are entered. I do have you. But yeah, next week, maybe try to start scoping out some of the character classes for Friday Night Crusades. And I think one of the other things I need to figure out is it is going to be Greyhawk based. I'm kind of leaning towards putting it not in Nyron, but close by, maybe in Ernst, either the duchy or the county. I thought about putting it in the remains of the Great Kingdom, and that has an issue with potentially going sideways, really. Oh, sir. Yes. We will. I will get in touch with you at some point because I do have more shenanigans for adventures. Oh, by the way, Tim, I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to I will be seeing Ty at Greyhawk Con, not Greyhawk Con, Gary Con. He's running New Avarden there, and I am going to be playing in a session with him. So, one of his sessions. So that's going to be awesome. Sir, I wish you were going to be there. I really do. There's going to be so many people that I know that are there. It's going to be amazing. I went into the podiatrist's office where it was like I didn't know whether or not I was going to need surgery on my foot or not, and thankfully it looks like it's just going to be basically letting it giving it time to let it heal while wearing the boot and whatever. But it was like whatever it was, I was like, yeah, I will be going to I'm going to Wisconsin. That is non-negotiable. So if I was going to need to do something that was going to impact that, it was going to have to wait. Just because I'm not giving that up. But yeah, I've got a bunch more players who are looking for more playtime. So I will hit you up for sure. And we'll get together and figure something out. And with that, let's get to the stream ending. I will do the giveaway, and we will be raiding into Lord Gazumba. So please hang in there. Thank you everybody for coming and hanging out. Great to see everybody in chat. Made the hour go really really quick. I was a little concerned that I was going to be talking to myself for a bit because I don't. Professional that I am, I did 0 advertising beforehand. Oh God, Herschel. How are Friday nights for you? Because you may want to, you may want to look into that if you're available when it starts happening. I know tax season is busy for you. You work Friday nights, of course. Oh well. We will find a time, my friend. We will find a time. Suddenly my Saturdays are very, very open. Not the greatest thing in the world, but my Saturdays are now open. So, let's close the giveaway. And the winner is Torlock72. Congratulations. I will get that to you right after the stream is done. And let's get this raid going. I do believe that I moved the raid emote, my raid emote, the Phantom raid emote, to so that everyone can use it. So when you make your way over to Lord Gazumba's stream, if you could pop the raid emote into the chat, that would be awesome. That is complete. And we will see you on the flip side. Rating in 3, 2, 1. Bye now.